Hey everybody, welcome to Podimecast. I am so happy to be doing this with Morally Gray. She is a brilliant creator. I'm going to invite her right now. As soon as Instagram allows, I'll be inviting her, but I'm really excited. And guys, yeah. Hey everybody.
I love your like as soon as Instagram allows, as if they'd be like, no, this isn't gonna happen. Like, no, 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 no.
That's exactly what they do. They're like, no, we don't want you to.
They would. I already nobody can find me on TikTok from typing in my username, so we might as well just add Instagram to it.
That was that always the case with you? Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
from the
You've
beginning?
never been able to. And it's not like how do I even explain that in an email to TikTok? Like, hey, if you type in my username, you can't find it. Could you fix it? And on every single video I post, there's always at least one person that's like, I can't tag you in videos. And I just sit there like, I cannot help you with that. That is a TikTok question. I got
Yo, does it bother you? Or are you just like fine
no.
with it at this
You
point?
want to know what? I like it because I already think I get a lot of mentions, like people adding me and stuff, and I already can't keep up with it. So if everybody could at me and stuff, I don't think I'd be able to like function on the app.
Interesting. And you know, like even though TikTok doesn't allow that for you, you still thrive. Like,
Yeah, so I'm like, it's fine. I don't care. I was like, if anything, it makes it better when, like at the beginning when I had started and my friends were like, oh, let me follow you. And like, maybe I didn't want them to follow me. I was like, yeah, this is my username. They'd be like, I can't find it. I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, send it to me. Oh, I can't.
don't know what to say.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, just leave it. It's fine.
Speaking of, like, how do you feel about having 500,000 followers?
We've talked about this before. I don't know when. It was like when I hit 100 that I
Yeah.
like it was like somewhere around 70. I remember specifically having like a panic attack around 70, yeah, 75,000 because I was like, "Oh my god, there's so many people." I was like, that is so many people." And then somewhere around like 150, I was like, "I don't care anymore." I was like, I that number doesn't exist, like this amount of people. And then right before I hit like the word half a million is like, oh my god. But right before I hit half a million, I googled what does half a million people look like in like a crowd or a street. Oh my god, it was the worst. I wish I never typed it in. I was like, oh no 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 no. I was like, that is a small town. Absolutely not.
Were there literally just towns that popped up? Like,
500,000. I have my laptop in front of me for research
I
purposes.
wish I could like bring up like whatever picture that comes to
Okay,
screen.
this was the exact photo that popped up when I typed in, what does 500,000 people look like? Wait, you can't even like zoom in because they don't even look like people. Right? I was like, oh, that's not gonna work. I was like, that is. And then the next photo, I was like, maybe there's better photos. And then they kept getting worse. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do that anymore. It was like, nope, 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 nope. That's a no go for me.
Oh my, I couldn't even like imagine. That just looks like the picture of your following just looks like historic pictures of gatherings of human beings. That is absolutely insane.
I'm like, you want to know the only reassuring thing? I'm like, there are 500,000 weebs. I was like, at least. I was like, that's nice.
The silver lining. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Do you remember your first viral post
It
and
wasn't
how
my
you felt
first
about it?
post. It was like my first anime
Really?
post went viral. That's the only reason I was like, oh, there's like not like a market, but I was like, oh, people are on here that like watch anime. It was oh, it's such an old audio. Do you remember the audio, the I'm just 16, that like went around like a year ago? And
That's a throwback.
it was My Hero Academia stuff, because that's all that I was like into My Hero at the time. I had just watched, and it was me reacting to like, oh my god, Bakugo's so hot, or oh my god, Ida, and then it was I'm just 16, and I'm like, what? And it would go by every character, and it would be like, I'm just 16. I'm like, oh no. And I went through like 3 or 4 people, and I was like, oh no, 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 no.
Yes. All right. That is a Cindy. But I absolutely could see that.
That was
Yeah.
the first one.
Who was the first anime character you just like simped for?
Oh, I really
Long
like
list. I
any
know.
of the Yu Yu Hakusho boys. I really,
Really?
because I was so like Naruto. I can't even like I grew up with that, so I like can't even. Well, I grew up with Yu Yu Hakusho, but I like loved Naruto so much that I was just like, no, they are on another level. Like they are family. And then what was the other thing? Sailor Moon, Sailor Uranus, and then Sailor Mars and Tuxedo Mask. All of them.
Nice. Was Sailor Moon the first anime that got you into anime?
No, see, I think I might define it differently when people ask that, because I
Okay.
grew up on Sailor Moon, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Naruto, right? But
Mhm.
I didn't think they were anime. It was just like that's what you watched. That's what was on Toonami. So in
Right.
like 6th or 7th grade, I think it was like whenever Shippuden had come out, or like they started making Shippuden, I was like, oh, I gotta watch it, but you could only watch it on your laptop. So I went to narutoWire.com, because that was the only website at the time that I knew of. And then it was just like, oh, Naruto, and then all these other animes. I was like, what is that? I was like, are there other shows? And it was A to Z, and I watched every single show that they had on that illegal streaming site. And I was like, oh my god. So it was like this awful, it was not a good show. Uh it was this awful show called '07 Ghost. And like looking back on it, I don't think I could watch it.
That sounds so familiar. Do you remember what it was about? Or
Um, like, okay, first of all, the plot was like not a plot. It was that kind of thing. They were very pretty boys, and then I don't. It was like a priest military kind of thing. I literally could not tell you the plot.
that's
So it
wild.
was like priest meets military meets like a church, but like it had some elements of like the only thing I can explain it as is like alchemy, almost from Full Metal Alchemist.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
oh,
very, very complicated, very interesting.
after this stream, I am looking it up.
That was,
For
you know,
sure.
Danye went live last night, and I popped in to his live because he like brings fans up to talk for 30 seconds. And
Oh,
I
really?
popped
Nice.
in, and we've never talked before. So I popped in, went on his 30. I was like, hey, nice to meet you. And I was like, what's an anime that you cannot stand that just drives you insane? He's like, I don't know. What about you? I was like, oh, School Days. Have you ever seen School Days, Travis?
I haven't seen School Days.
I literally was like, you need to watch School Days immediately after this stream. He's like, okay. And now I just put on my story. There's like people messaging me like, oh, I'm about to watch School Days. And I'm like, oh no, 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 no. I don't want you to me during that live stream. Don't do that. Like,
Yo, I'm writing that down. School Days and
oh,
'07 Goes.
this is how I pitch School. It's so bad. It will drive you insane. But they censored the last 15 minutes of it in Japan because it was so um I don't want to use the word gory, but gore excessive. It was so excessive, gory, and out of left field that there's this very famous scene that they censored the last 15 minutes. They had to play film during the time space that they had left. And it's just this boat going down a river with happy music behind it. So it's like right as it gets really violent, it cuts, and it's just this boat going. It's like my favorite fun fact.
What is speaking of like anime scenes, what is like an anime scene to you that really moved you?
Oh, Okay, the first one, I'm sure I could come up with more, but the first that comes to mind is that the end of Naruto with when
That's
he's gonna
beautiful.
get married and he asks Aruka to be his dad. Oh my god. I was like, yeah, that's your father. That just gets me every time without fail. I'm like, oh no, 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 no. Because like I feel like people think banana fish, right? I always hear people cry at the end of banana fish.
Yeah.
I did not
Mhm.
cry. I
Really?
thought it was
At the
sad.
ending.
I'll cry at like people talking about it. Well, tear up at people talking about it now on TikTok because people have a way of taking that scene and making it even sadder. They'll put like certain music behind it, or they'll be like, "Fun fact, this happened," and I'm like, "Oh no!" But I did not cry at all, which is why I had told people I'll cry at stuff like Tokyo Magnitude 8.0, where it's like heart wrenching. But that
Mhm.
I don't know if it was I knew what was going to happen at the end because anime TikTok and there's only so much you can go around without being spoiled. But I was just
Yeah.
like, it did. I felt sad, but I was like, no tears, dry eyes.
Do you feel like you've cried a lot from watching anime, or not really?
Not. I have. I don't go out of my way to watch sad
Sad.
anime though. Like if I do, like great, that happens. But I do know there are people that are like, I want sad shows only. I want something that's gonna make me sob. Whereas I'm like, oh no, I don't. I already have to deal with life. I don't really know if I need that in my life right now.
I feel the same way. What is your favorite genre of anime?
um, I can tell you it's not shonen. I will say that because I got sick of. Well, you'll. This was one of your questions that you had given me. I think I don't know
Yes.
what I'm thinking about. You wanted to know the. You asked yesterday, Chloe, with the what was the golden age in anime.
Yes, the golden era of anime. I was gonna ask you that later, but yeah, go ahead,
I
tell
mean,
me.
here's how I feel about that. Shonen, like old shonen, I don't think I could watch today. Like, I don't think if Naruto came out today, right? I don't think I'd be into it. I appreciate it. It was good when I watched it 15, 20 years ago. I could not watch it. Oh, saying 20 years ago hurt.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
that
yeah,
hit
for a
me too.
second I
Like,
went, no. But I don't think I could watch it today. It's kind of repetitive to me. And like
interesting.
I feel like shonen now, like with Chloe said yesterday, with My Hero Academia, like all I did when watching My Hero Academia was compare it to Naruto and how much better it was. That it had the exact same tropes, like the exact you got the kid that's underestimated, you have the one he's looking up to, like the exact same tropes. But every time I thought it was gonna go where Naruto was going, it swerved. Bakugo being kidnapped, I'm like, oh, Sasuke being kidnapped. Sasuke's went to the bad side. Bakugo, swerve. All Might being his Deku's teacher, like his there's another word there. Mentor.
Sensei? Mentor,
Yes.
right.
Being his mentor, I was like, oh, he's gonna die. Jiraiya, swerve. I'm like, I don't think he's gonna die. Like, I don't think he's gonna die. They talk about it, but I'm like, I really don't think they're gonna kill him off at any point. So
I I think I heard it either from you or someone else saying that like My Hero Academia is better Naruto, pretty
it
much.
is. I mean, you
And
could that seems almost stupid to say because you could say that about anything because I feel like anime is only improving upon like we don't want the same stuff and that was
right.
like when Madoka Magica came out it was such a trend in anime to like deconstruct the genre and then put it
Mhm.
out because that's what like Madoka and Sailor Moon was. They were like, let's take happy girl like magic power girl ooh and then just crush it and let's make it dark and messed up. And people lost it. People love Madoka Magica because it was so new and improved and better. So I feel like we can only go up.
I feel like that too. So yeah, you think that the future of anime is just really bright.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think the beginning, I don't know how we got here, but I think the beginning question was what was my favorite genre? Um,
This is why I love talking to you, because like it could
oh, I
go
don't have
literally anywhere.
my ADHD will take over. I'm fine with anything. I just don't love like mecha anime and then like shonen. That's usually it. But it's only because shonen ends up being the same thing it's gonna always be, which is fine. Like you know what you're getting. It's always that boy that's like underestimated, but he's gonna try hard, and I pick and choose.
And that's completely fair.
Mm-hmm.
What about your favorite anime character? What's your favorite anime character? I know that's hard, so let's do like what would make your top 10 anime? One character
I
from your top 10.
You want to know what's tough for me? It's because I read so much fan fiction that I'm like, oh my god, I love this character, and then I'm like, oh, that's not necessarily the character they portray them to be in the show. So I was gonna be like Yaya Rozu from My Hero, but then I'm like, they show her so little in the show.
Which you prefer, fan fiction or manga?
Fan fiction, because it usually
Mm,
gives those characters that you don't see a lot in the show or the manga a bigger plot. So I prefer
mm,
that. Like, so I cannot tell you how many Sakura Haruno fanfics I've read, because I think that's why also I have such an issue with shonen, is because it's got a tiny bit of a track record of not giving female characters justice. Not that they do them dirty, just they're underwritten almost. And I
yeah,
feel that way about My Hero Academia. I think the women girls are like severely underwritten. Because to me, like Yaya Rozu should be top tier. Like I
yeah.
don't know why she's not top tier and considered up there with like Todoroki and Bakugo. And I'm just like, she can literally make anything. Like what?
Exactly. It it makes no sense. There's
So
almost no drawback to her power, I guess, unless I think uh she needs to eat sugar or something like that, or
yeah,
like
she has to intake a lot. She can literally eat whatever she wants. I'm like, she's living the dream. Like, why is she not top tier? She should be intaking ramen like Naruto. Let's go. Like, you know she is.
what woman character do you think had a really big impact on you, or you think was written really well?
Mm, this, I say an impact on me, but it's not like she's like a good character to look up to. I really liked is it Revy or Remy? Why am I just blanking? Remy and Black Lagoon.
Okay, I haven't seen Black Lagoon, but okay.
Oh,
I
you have to watch it
haven't.
dubbed. You have to watch it dubbed. There's no other way to watch Black Lagoon.
Okay.
Oh, you
Okay.
have to watch it dubbed because it's rated R. I've never heard, I don't know if this interview is PG. I've never heard the F word used so many times in an anime in my entire life. Oh my god.
Really?
Two, I don't know if you watched Death Note dubbed, but it's
I
the
watched both, subbed and dubbed, yeah.
okay, it's the voice actor of Light. Is because Canada made it, so different voice actors. So it's just so well done. It's like up there with like Cowboy Bebop in terms of dubbing. Like it's iconic to me. And seeing her, because I guess women in anime most of the time are like cutesy and like kind of take a back seat. Oh my god, Black Lagoon, she just does whatever she wants. She just does whatever she wants, and she's like that bad ass shonen main character who does not give a shit about anything, and it's the best. I was like, I was like, this should be all shows. Like, she just goes off. Someone pisses her off, like, that's it. They're over.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have to ask, the best woman character is her. What's the woman character that really got on your nerves to watch?
um, she's in School Days, which is why you have to watch School Days now. I don't even remember her name, but she's so clear in my mind. I literally don't know her name because that's how not memorable I wanted it to be. It's just
You're
amazing.
traumatized.
And it's like the whole bit was like she was a a girlfriend and she's like, oh my God, I love my boyfriend so much. He loves me so much, while he's cheating on her literally the entire show. And like she knows, but she's still like, oh my God, I love him so much. It drives me insane.
So I'm guessing School Days is like a romance
School
anime?
Days? Oh, it's so much more than there's so many layers of this awful, awful show. The first like 2 episodes literally you're like, oh, this is every show I've ever seen. It's like, guy likes girl, he wants that girl to like her. Best friend of guy's also a girl who like kind of has a crush on him, but she can't tell him that. Except in the second or third episode, they actually start dating. And then I believe they sleep together, which is like out there for anime. Like that never happens. Yeah, I believe they sleep together, but then he starts sleeping around, which was also out there.
That's out there for anime.
Yeah,
super out there.
he really starts whoring himself out. And it just all goes downhill from there. Like you have people mad at each other, and then it gets violent, but it's so, like, I don't want to call it a bad show. It just will drive you insane. It will make you so angry. That's like, I don't know how into romance anime you are, but Scum's Wish that came out in like 2018 or something. It was like the same kind of show where it was like 2 characters both had unrequited love stories. And they were like, well, they won't love us, so let's pretend to love each other. And then they sleep around the entire show with just each other. But they, like, they're like, you'll never be her, you'll never be him. And it's all, I'm like, this is so bad. It's like watching train wrecks.
I didn't know anime like that even existed. Like,
yeah. Oh, I love shows like that, especially when that's such like an underrated genre. I'm trying to think of the name. Josei, I think it's called Josei, which usually I'm using that. I know there's a male equivalent, but I know Josei is like female oriented from 18 to 32, I think. So usually
shoujo, I think.
No, it's not shoujo, because shoujo is 18 below.
Oh, okay.
Josei is 18 above, and they're usually more adult storylines. Like, I don't know if you've seen Nana or Paradise Kiss, but they're like dramatic, but they're like actual real adult things that they cover, which is what I like about them. As opposed to like, everything will be okay, peace, love. Oh.
What is an anime that you've seen that took you off guard because you went into it thinking you might not like it?
You can stop talking, I already know. Made in Abyss, 1,000%. Have you seen it yet?
No, people tell me it's the saddest thing I will see. They
want to know why?
That Tokyo magnitude.
I was so mad. Well, I wasn't mad, but I was just like, I don't understand how people have not seen it. It was 2018's Anime of the Year. It won like best soundtrack, best animation, all this stuff. It was only 12 episodes. They're coming out with another season. There's a movie. I was like, I don't understand how people have not seen it. So I made a video. I was like, y'all need to watch. There was not even a bit. I was like, you guys have to watch it. How have you not watched it? I was like, get on it. Like, I want all of you to suffer with me. Go. And then I was tagged in all these videos of people being like, why did you make me watch? Like, it was so good. But like, at the same time, they were like 10 out of 10. It was so good. But why did you make me watch it?
It's so sad.
Oh my God. It's so good because it had such an original plot. I've not seen a plot like that ever. Nothing remotely like the plot. And then they drew them so cute. Like, the animation's gorgeous. They draw it so cute that you don't expect anything bad to happen. And so when bad stuff does happen, it catches you so off guard. So I went into it thinking, oh, it's just like another cute, like, they draw them very chibi. So it's like
Madoka Magica, right?
Yeah, the exact same way. So when stuff goes bad, you're like, oh no. Like, literally, I think I got nauseous at one point because I was like, oh no, this cannot be happening. And I don't think I can say I can say an anime's made me nauseous, but
what other animes made you nauseous?
Higurashi.
Really? What?
Oh my God, have you seen it?
No. Is it hard? Is it?
I don't like gore. Like I prefer no gore. And it's literally, it's Groundhog Day. Like, that's the plot line. It's Groundhog Day, but with horror. And I think, for the kids watching, do not watch this. I think, so it restarts every 3 episodes, if I'm remembering it correctly. And I have a very vivid memory of watching it in high school. And the first, like, horror that went wrong was someone had put needles in someone's lunch, and then they ate it. And that was not fun to watch. And then the second one I saw was someone was being tortured and their nails were being ripped off. And the third one I saw was the girl just, oh my God, just took a knife, like put it on the wall like that and went repeatedly into it. And I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I was not made for this. People that like horror tell me it's one of the best horrors they've ever seen. I can't do it. Oh, someone said Corpse Party. Corpse Party is really good too.
Corpse Party is gory, but that gives me feels of have you seen Another?
Yes. Okay. It's Another.
Okay.
See, Another was funny to me though. Like, it was the kind of ridiculous death that I'm like, oh.
I get you.
This was more chilling because they set it up like so it's not funny almost. Like, there's people being tortured and kidnapped, and I'm just like, oh no, no, no. And they look so cute. That's the other thing. They look adorable. So I went into it thinking, oh my God, this is going to be so cute. And then it's not.
Oh my God. So do you think that there is an anime that you watched and you just couldn't even believe that somebody even funded something this horrible?
I drop okay, I can think of one, but I'm going to preface with I've only seen 2 episodes or 3 episodes, and I'm aware
Okay.
I've done it wrong, and I don't want anyone messaging me about it because I'm gonna go back and rewatch it and try again. But I cannot remember having a more annoyed or pissed off reaction before I say the name. After I watched the 2 episodes, I called all of my friends that watch anime, and I was like, I don't understand why people love the show. It's awful. I was like, I don't get anything that happened. I don't understand the point. It was so stupid. The voice acting was dubbed, but was awful. And I was like, oh my God, no, never again.
You're about to drop the biggest bomb. Whatever you're about to say.
So it was the first 2 episodes of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Wow.
And I hate it. Like, I mean, for like the next 2 weeks, I was like, I don't understand how people are watching this. But I know it's so popular. So I'm like, there has to be a reason. And then I was told the first 2 parts are awful by friends, but that know me. They're like, you're not going to like the first 2 parts. You have to just put up with it and keep going. I love the comments are like, no.
Oh yeah, as I was like, it's gonna be something bad. Oh man, JoJo.
Oh,
yeah.
Controversial.
Travis and JoJo. I love JoJo. But it's okay. I feel like that's a thing that I get a lot. Anytime I do a JoJo recommendation or a JoJo fact, people are like, I just could not do it. I couldn't watch the first season. I couldn't watch for the animation.
Campy. It is what I get from it. It's very campy so far, but I don't know. I just hated it so much. Oh my God, I hated it so much. It was so bad. And then I'm sure watching it in English with the fake British dub voice killed me.
I could not. I couldn't even imagine watching it in dub.
When Dio, is his name Dio at that? I don't care.
Dio,
Dio or whoever killed the dog, I was like, good. I was like, let's go. Like, something needs to happen. I was like, no! The dog now, because oh my God.
So earlier you said like you called all your friends to tell them that. How do your friends feel about your TikTok? I don't want to call it fame to make you feel uncomfortable, but your TikTok presence.
I think most of my friends make TikToks now because.
Really?
Yeah. Well, most of my friends watch anime. It's funny. I love when people people always comment like, none of my friends watch anime, da, da, da. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. You think I just happen to find friends that watched anime. I was like, I got everyone into anime because all it takes is one good show. Like that's the tipping point. I was like, I got all of my friends into anime. Like that's how you find them. You make them.
You make them.
Yeah, I was like, you don't just find one on the street. You have to put effort and love into them.
So your best friend, you turned into a weeb then, or was your
several?
What was the anime that you gave them that started them on that journey?
So my high school friend, I don't remember what she watched. She could tell you. She's like the redhead who I stream with a lot. I could not tell you what she watched. I went to a convention in high school with like the one person I knew that liked anime, and I tried to keep it like low key. Like no pictures were taken, like that kind of stuff. We didn't post on Facebook. We were just like, we're going into this convention, we're leaving. So when we came back from that, they were like, oh, where you guys hung out this weekend? Where'd you go? And it was like, oh, like just around. And then somebody in our friend group found one photo from the convention that the friend who I went with had taken. And then they're like, we were like, oh, well, it's anime, like whatever. And best friend group, they were all like, oh, what's anime? Like, can we watch it? Like, what is that? And then everyone got into it. But my friend who just got into anime, like within the past 3 or 4 months, started on My Hero. I did not give him that. His brother made him watch My Hero. He watched it like 3 times in a row. And then I was like, you got to watch Promise Neverland. I was like 1,000%.
Nice.
If you watch Promise Neverland, game over. Like you're in. Loved it, obviously, because Promise Neverland. I gave him Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood because that's always solid, no plot holes, perfect. And then I gave Anohana and Made in Abyss. And right now he's watching Hunter x Hunter.
Nice. Did you feel like Hunter x Hunter dragged?
You're bringing this up on purpose because we talked about this already. Yes. Unpopular opinion, I hate the Chimera Ant arc with such a passion. I'm sure it is sad for people that didn't think it dragged the entire time. I'm only here to watch Kilo and Gon. If you're not going to give me that, I don't care. I didn't even like Kite. I was like, why is Kite suddenly here? I've never seen him. I don't know him. I don't care about what they're researching. But then I got the first copy of the manga from Hunter x Hunter. Kite's in the first chapter. They just did not put him in the anime. In the first,
really?
Kite, that bit with the whole bear cub, I'm sure it's not a bear, but whatever they do, that is the first that is, you open the book, that is the first scene. I was like, if you had put Kite in the first scene, maybe I would have cared about him.
It would have made everything deeper. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I love it. I have zero complaints. The only thing I wish they did was I wish they scrapped, didn't even have to scrap it, the first episode of Brotherhood I'm talking about. So
okay. Yeah, I get you.
And then they have the Lior. They have the Lior arc. I think Lior should have been first. Like they did with the original Full Metal Alchemist anime, because I think that's more explanatory than this first episode was. Because every time I've recommended it to a friend now, they don't know what's going on in the first episode. Like, why would you care about what's going on when you don't know them? And so when it's just casually 2 brothers going to Lior and they explain along the way anyway, and like they're gonna have to explain the same stuff they just explained in the first episode to the priest and Lior, I'm like, oh, they might as well just scrap it.
I've never heard a suggestion to improve Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood before, that was great. No, but that was you're right, and I never even thought of that before. That's a fantastic. That would be fantastic.
So my friend I just gave it to was like, I don't know what's going on. And I explained to him, I'm like, oh, you explain to someone that, oh, I was like, well, there was another anime. This is the redone. It follows the manga. I was like, that other one actually just starts with Lior. He was like, well, after watching it, why didn't they just start with Lior? Because he's like, I had no idea what was going on. Why would I care? I was like, oh. Like, good point.
Oh, so when I was talking to Chloe, she said that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood changed her in real life perspective. So I wanted to know for you, what anime changed your perspective?
Um, I really liked. I mean, like there's so many, but I feel like Naruto just because I grew up with it, and I loved. I like did not have a lot of friends growing up. I feel like anyone could say that, but I didn't have a lot of friends growing up, and I was like, Naruto didn't have a lot of friends, and he just like believed it, and then he got friends, and like did it and accomplished everything he wanted through hard work. But now we know it's not hard work; it's just destiny. So
Yeah.
all those times where he's like, if I fight for it, I can do anything, but really, it was all predetermined. So,
Neji was right. It was destiny. Like,
yep. I was like, oh, that whole fight in the Chunin exam's moot now. Got it. I was like, cool. Good job.
what anime do you feel like made you think that, okay, I am ashamed to be a weeb. I can't believe that this anime is like even in the genre.
Oh, well, okay. It's not fair though, because the ones I'm thinking of are like or like Kiss X Sis or like Monster Musume.
Oh my god. Okay.
Because I'm like, guys, you're really not helping with like the tentacle thing and like, oh my god.
Definitely.
Like I can't think of I don't think I can think of I'm sure there is one that I've watched and enjoyed and then have been like, oh no, this should not leave the vicinity of my room that I like this. I can't think of any right now. Those two stick out to me because they were sent to me by some of my guy friends and I was like, what are you doing? I would never tell anyone you watch this. Maybe like just those bits of Food Wars, just those specific bits of Food Wars that I'm
That's the
like,
whole reason I've even avoided watching Food Wars because I've heard that there's just certain
I just
weird.
watched the first episode the other night with a couple weekends ago with my friend who had not seen it. And it was just me and my one friend laughing because we knew it was coming. And I like had my camera ready. I have the recordings of him going, "Oh no." I was like, "I'm so sorry."
What about this? What comments make you shake your head?
I haven't. Stop. This is too close to home. I just had to deal with this today.
Perfect.
How many people are here? 56 people? 56 people. Listen well. I'm not going to word it well. I'm sure you could word it better because I do not have a way with words. It drives me up the wall insane when people come to my page and they comment like on any one of my Hisoka videos, right? And just pick and choose anything. It won't even be a video about him. It'll just be they see my profile picture and they go, you should be ashamed and disgusted with yourself. That is a pedophile. How dare you? Like, do you not see? And I sit there and I'm like, I don't understand how. First of all, I would never comment back to any of these comments because I do not believe you can have that kind of debate over. Like, it's just not going to happen. Not unless you're talking with the person. I don't think you could be successful in getting a point across. That you do not have to support a character, but you can still like them. I was like, obviously he's like a pedophile. Like, I've seen the show. I am very well aware. I was like, what's important is he's very attractive, very fun, very much a psychopath. I just block out the other shit. I will make jokes about it constantly because, I mean, what else are you gonna do? But like, my favorite characters and things have always been like the morally corrupt or like wrong, and yet they're still likable. Like that's such a well-written character.
Right.
Have you seen Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I love Game of Thrones.
Cersei Lannister.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously messed up, awful. Littlefinger, messed up, awful, but still great characters, so much fun to watch. So
Yeah.
I hate when people leave comments that are like, you might, oh my God, I get so many in so many different ways. I'm like, you don't have to support a character, you can still like them. Like, you can differentiate.
Mm-hmm.
One does not mean the other. Just because you like someone does not mean you all of a sudden support murder, support pedophilia, support literally pick anything. But I'm like, oh, there's no way for me to get that across to you. And I would never make a video on it because that just opens up the door for a giant
Low
argument
back
throughout
and
the community.
everything.
And I do not believe anything positive would come from that.
Now, my follow-up question to that is, in every other genre outside of anime, the awful character that is likable, serial killers,
Mm-hmm.
rapists, a bunch of other things,
Mm-hmm.
they have fan bases where people love them and whatever. Why do you think that it's different to have an attraction to those characters than in anime, or why people treat you differently because of that?
Um, there it you want to know what? It is different. For a second I was going to be like it's the same, but I was like no, I guess it is different cuz I went to San Diego Comic-Con, right? Like years ago.
Mhm.
And it was when I don't know if you've ever seen Hannibal when it was on NBC, but like the TV show
Yes,
Hannibal. I have every DVD. I'm a huge fan. Love Hannibal. And
same.
it was so big that year at San Diego Comic-Con. Everyone loved Hannibal. Like everyone Hannibal is very attractive. Like the actor's very attractive. He's very like charismatic in the show. Obviously, he eats people. Um, not the best, but it's such like I don't know. It's something about how people write these characters so charismatic and smart, and it's admirable. If you took out whatever one little issue they had, we'll use Hannibal. Let's say cannibalism, right? If you took cannibalism and murder out of Hannibal, there's nothing wrong with him. Automatically the perfect
Yeah,
like guy. So it's kind of hard not to be like attracted to that kind of personality trait. I think I see the psychopathic characters and I'm like, that's such a cool character. And they went, not that they messed him up, but I was like, and they went and gave him one bad flaw and it still doesn't matter. I was like, it's still, I personally think I watch it sometimes. I'm such a mental and like sensitive person because I'm like, oh, I wish I could have some of their characteristics, whatever.
oh, that's powerful. What character do you see yourself in the most?
Um, it's always a toss up between Yaya Rozu because I am for sure like the motherly. If you have a problem, come here. I will listen to it. Kind of person was, and my friend and I talk about this all the time. The episode where she had to team up with Todoroki,
Hmm.
her imposter syndrome. I don't know how well of a term that's known. Do you know what imposter syndrome is?
Yeah, I know what
Imposter syndrome? Because I was like, that is me to a T. And
you
it's
have.
my,
A syndrome.
oh my God, 1,000%. Not with like TikTok or anything like that. More
Okay.
with like chemistry, my background in chemistry and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna be found out. Like I do not know any of this. And then I was telling you about who I've been giving him anime Adam. He's like a PhD candidate. And so we always talk about like Yaya Rozu is so relatable. She is literally top tier boss level quirk. And she's like, oh no, I'm going to be thrown out of this class. Like you have Deku and Bakugo and da da da, which is why when I started the UA counselor series, I made one skit. I think my first skit I filmed was Yaya Rozu. And it was her being like, I'm like just not good enough. Like look at I'm sorry, what are you talking about? Like, they are self-sacrificing idiots. Like, they don't think, they just fight. I was like, you have a brain, you have the most powerful quirk. Like, let's go, girl.
Wow.
And Sakura, which is
What
fun.
made what made you start the UA series, the UA counselor series?
Um, I think it was, I've been asked this before, and to be honest, I don't quite know. But the only thing I remember, my brain's constantly like daydreaming during the day. I would honestly probably write fan fiction instead of doing this if I had any kind of talent and patience for writing. But and then I Googled, I've always thought those kids need therapy, but I Googled, I was like, who is the therapist at UA? Because you know they have one. And it was, I forgot his name. It's not Mad Dog. It's something Dog. He's like very rarely in the anime, but it
Mhm.
literally says on his profile, on his wiki page, it says, but he can't really talk. I was like, what? You have a therapist that can't really talk? They're like, yeah. Anytime he feels emotion strongly, he can't talk, and he rarely talks. That is his personality. And I was like, you have a therapist that can't talk, and he's a pro hero, and he doubles as security. His real job is security and a therapist. I was like,
Wow.
no. I was like, what help? I was like, each class should have, like, hero course class should have its own therapist, and then you should have someone's for general and business class and all that stuff. But I was like, the hero course kids, especially with like the uptake and rise in villainy, I was like, are you kidding me with this? So then I just made myself one. I saw the
Wow. You put a lot of thought into it. That's I had no idea about that.
it was that, and then all of a sudden I did it as like a joke. She wasn't supposed to be like, it wasn't an OC. It was just like, hey, I think this is funny. And then all of a sudden people were like, oh my god, what's her quirk, what's her quirk? And I literally was like, oh shit, I'm not talented. I was like, guys, what do you think her quirk should be? And people were sending in all this stuff, and so I took two and I kind of sewed them together into one to be her quirk. And then it's so funny because even now I still mess up because I cannot. I'm just thinking about the joke, consistency. So like, I just made a video. Someone's like, well, I thought she couldn't lie, so why is she saying that? And people are like, oh no, it's because alcohol. I said like alcohol gets in the way of her quirk. That's the only thing that makes her not be honest, or that can like stop her quirk. And someone's like, oh, she must be drunk. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I did not think about it. I don't know how to make that make sense, like with her quirk, but I was like, I just messed up, but okay.
Out of all the skits that you've done, what is the one that you had the hardest time putting together?
Oh my God. That one where I transported myself to the Hunter x Hunter universe. And I remember sitting there with my ring light and like all these different outfits and like all these different backgrounds. And it was the only one I'd ever done where I was like, I really just want to one up it. So I Hunter x Hunter, and then I put videos instead. So it was like you were watching the anime. So Hisako was like moving in it. And then it was like Hisako would walk up, and then I walked up to Hisako, and we're just like looking at each other. It was the most effort I had ever put into anything on this app. And I
I
made
actually
three of
remember
them.
that. That's so cool. Do you think who is one of your biggest inspirations as a creator on TikTok?
Mm, I don't have a person. I would more just blame it on fan fiction and like anime. Like that, it's literally just me daydreaming. Like I cannot get that across enough. People are like, oh, how do you come up with it? And I was like, it's always been in my head. It's not, it's just now I happen to make it public. Like that's it. That's the only thing. My favorite was I made a video saying, oh, I was like, what do people think about when they're listening to music? Because I'm only thinking about scenarios of like me in certain anime. I'm like, it's me in this show doing this or da-da. The amount of comments I got from people being like, holy shit, I thought that was just me, was insane. It was all these people are like,
Wow.
oh my God, all I do is think of scenarios when I'm listening to music. That's it. And like every single comment was like, oh my God, me too. Me too. I was like, we're all a little less crazy, guys. Look at that. It just took one person to bring it up.
Do you feel like the connection you have with your fans was something that you never in your wildest dreams could imagine?
No. I still, if anything, I'm on TikTok a lot. I wish I could get off of it. It is truly an addiction. And my issue, my fatal, it's not going to seem like a flaw to other people because I'm the person responding to them. But my fatal flaw is all I can think of is if I, and I've always thought this, if I commented on someone I really loved, right, their video, I would want them to see the comment or like the comment, or respond to the comment, which is why when you go to all my videos, most of the comments are liked by me. The top like 25 are always liked by me, and I always respond to like 5 or 6 of them, if not more. Minimum is usually 5 or 6. But I have to, I'm like, literally, I'm like, I have to stop doing that. I was like, not everyone does that. It's like, you spend so much time on TikTok, you gotta chill. They know you see them. Relax. Because like Carmen and I talked about, Carmen likes like 3 or 4 comments on hers and like just leaves it. And I'm like, oh, I gotta do that. It's like, man, that seems like it'd take way less time. It's like, that sounds great.
That does sound great. I just feel like that's so hard when you know that you're getting so many people trying to reach out to you and everything else.
Yeah, and then I opened the Instagram and I was like, okay, now you really have to chill. I was like, you really have to stop responding to everybody now, or else I would just constantly be on my phone all day, which is already kind of what happens.
What do you think is something that you would like to tell younger creators that are trying to get tips on how to make anime content on TikTok, trying to build their platform?
To be, I don't think anyone has to try to build so cheesy. I think as long as you're putting out what you love and like you're passionate about it,
Not cheesy at
that's
all. That's good.
all my, listen, I stand by every video I've ever made. You could go back to the beginning of my things. I still put the same amount of effort. I just got more fancy with stuff, but it's the same amount of effort has gone into my videos always, whether there was nobody looking or there was everybody looking. So I'm just like, if you are passionate and you continuously post, I think that's the other thing. Because I've always posted like 2 to 4 times a day. Just to, I hate stuff sitting in drafts. If I have an idea, it gets put out. Like that's it. I think if you post consistently and it's good product, good stuff that you're proud of, like that's it. That's all it takes.
Do you really think that posting constantly is like the way
Mhm.
to really be seen?
Yeah,
Okay.
I fully believe. My rule of thumb used to be 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 at night, but that was before quarantine. So now it's like 1 in the afternoon, 2 to 3 at like night. Because I will go to sleep. I'll post one before I go to sleep, and I'll wake up, and I'm like, oh wow, it blew up. Like that was unexpected. And I wake up to it, and I'm like, oh good, I didn't have to like sit there and be like, is it doing well? Is it doing well now? I was like,
I do that too. I try
mm,
so hard not to. Like I have like
I
a
know.
mental
I know.
where I'm just
And
like I'm
that's
not
the
gonna look for
only
like 50
part of
minutes.
TikTok that I don't like, that I'm like, I don't want to be the person that's like, did it blow up?
Yeah,
Did it do that? I put a lot of effort into it. Why isn't it blowing up? What did people not like? When really it's just an algorithm game. Like,
exactly. I can't believe I didn't ask you this, but what is the biggest issue that you faced as a woman that's a weeb?
I actually have not had any problems.
Really? No
Well,
sexy
okay.
problems.
If I mean, like we could talk about, oh, I'm so bad with words. I don't want this to come off bad. I don't think I have creators in my head, right? That I do not have any problem with anybody on the app, first of all. I have some problems, but think of the people that are like, you know, like when you think of me, you think of Hisoka. When you think of Chloe, you think of Hawks, like that kind of thing. I think the guys that are associated with their female anime characters do not get nearly as much heat as the women do. I think that would be the only. If I do get a comment that's like, I can't even say women aren't funny because I'm fully confident in how funny I am. If I get a comment that's like, this is like the reason people don't like weebs or like anything like that, I'm like, that's the dumbest thing you've like. It literally. And I'm like I told you, I'm very sensitive. That's how dumb of a comment it is to me. I'm like, what? That's not true. I was like, you got to put something that's at least partially true. Like, no. So I think the only thing is just you get a bit more heat about the characters that you like. I didn't even mean to make this like a Hisoka simp. People are always like, oh my God, her husband. I was like, I just started Hunter x Hunter in April. I didn't think this is what it was gonna like. I'm just as surprised as you guys are. I didn't think this was gonna happen. I just wanted to see what a clown was about. That's it.
I remember those TikToks where
two of them have been taken down because TikTok hates taken down by TikTok. I hate my husband. Literally, it'll be like a little bit of skin or something, and they're like, no, that is mature content. We don't do that here. And I'm like, I censored it. I literally, on the Hisoka investigation videos, because only the first one's up now, I had to put censors on his abs because the abs were too much for TikTok. And TikTok still took it down. I would repost them like 3 times. TikTok's like, no. Get that man out of here. He's too much. I'm like, I don't like saying him. And I wanted to share that, but TikTok said no.
That's crazy. Oh, and I wanted to, first of all, just thank you for answering all my questions. You are amazing to talk to. And this is now the Q&A portion. I know there's a lot of questions that have been scrolling past, so guys, ask away. I hate my husband, hilarious. As briefly as we start to do skits with my My Hero Academia OC, how should I go about it?
Oh, say it again? I missed it.
Oh, as a person who wants to start to do skits with my My Hero Academia OC, how should I go about it? That is Roz Needs a Life.
Just throw it in. Just like I was telling him, she was not supposed to be an OC. This was not supposed to be a series. I filmed 2, and then it kind of spiraled. People really liked the Bakugo one I did whenever that happened, and they were like, we want more. And I was like, damn, I better come up with more.
Oh, sorry. I'm such a big fan, Gray. Oh, that's so sweet. What's your favorite anime?
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, without doubt. Followed by Promised Neverland, because it's hard when you're reading anime because nostalgia puts such a dent in accuracy of like what is good.
Well, what do you think affects your nostalgia? What do you think anime has the most nostalgia for you that just completely warps how?
Like, I've tried to rewatch. I'm not like big on rewatching anything, if I'm being honest. But I tried to rewatch parts of Yu Yu Hakusho, and I could not. It just didn't. Yeah, but I will read fan fiction all day and night. Like I am there for the characters, but like the story, I sit there and I'm like, are we gonna fight? Like, what's up? Like, can we go? Like, let's go.
Well, this is actually a really good one. What would you change about JoJo's that would make you watch it?
Oh my God, everything. Oh my God. Explain to me what the mask was. If you're dub, I'm so sorry, voice acting dub. I have nothing against dub. I actually hate on people that are like, sounds better than dub. The dub was so bad. It was so bad. I had no idea what was going on. I just wanted them to get on with it. And then, I'll be honest, by the time I got to the point where it was like someone became a vampire, and then I was like, absolutely not. I'm not doing the vampire thing. I was like, that is the stupidest thing. It's not happening. I'm done. And then I stopped watching. I was like, what are you, Vampire Knight? Absolutely not.
I can't even, with the mask, I
And I
can't
tried
even.
watching Seraph of the End too, even though it's sorry, Bianca just messaged me. Go away. Yeah, we're busy. I tried watching Seraph of the End. I dropped Seraph of the End. I did not like it.
Really?
Okay, tell me I'm not accurate in this. Gorgeous. Fantastic. I'm gonna refer to the first 4 episodes. Gorgeous animation. Fantastic character design, character development.